Good evening, everybody. I'm amazed by the vibrant atmosphere in the room, but this is a very important occasion. My name is Mary Daly. I'm president of the Royal Irish Academy, but as I'm also a historian who has worked on a lot of social and demographic issues, I'm at least as excited as most people in the room are about this event. And when I was talking earlier, I discovered there is actually a direct link between the GRO and the Royal Irish Academy, because the GRO up to the 1920s was based in Parliament House in the current Hugh Lane Gallery, and Parliament House was of course the Dublin home of the Earl of Charlemont, who was the first founding president of the Royal Irish Academy. So that's how the records survived. The Custom House fired, they weren't at the Custom House at that stage, and aren't we delighted that they did. Now, I'm not going to take any more of your time because we have two government ministers waiting to speak to us, which is a wonderful honour. And we will begin by asking Minister Deenahan to talk about this remarkable project. Minister, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and I would like to thank Mary for the introduction, and also say how happy I'm here to be with Mr. Joan Burton on this evening, which is a very important evening for Joan, as you all know. And I just would like to wish her the very best of luck tomorrow. I have worked close to her for the last 3 years, and indeed for as long as she's in the door, and I must say she's been a great public representative and an outstanding minister in her period in the ministry. So I would like just to wish her the very best of luck tomorrow. I suppose it's rather special that both of us will be here this evening for the launch of the online indexes to the registers of the General Register Office of the GRO Civil Records, which are now being posted on the government website, irishgenealogy.ie. I would like to thank Mary and the Academy for their generous welcome here this evening, and also for facilitating this event. And as you all know, and I see many familiar faces here, many of you are involved professionally in genealogy, but genealogy is really very important, and indeed in recent years it's just grown in importance. And not alone here locally at home, but I suppose also genealogy tourism now is really becoming very, very important, both from the point of view of economics, but also from the point of view of just family and people getting their roots. So it's also, very important from a social history perspective as well. So that's why this development here this evening is further development in the whole, I suppose, genealogy offering here in this country, which is very exciting at the moment. And I suppose it became very exciting with the launch of the census, as you know, reports of 1901 and 1911, which really captured the imagination, as you all know, of the people, with over 800 million hits at this stage and growing, and attracted an awful lot of interest to Ireland as well, from all over the world. So that's why I think that genealogy is something now that people are so excited about it. And the government, indeed, cognizant of its commitments under the Programme for Government in relation to genealogy, agreed a new national policy on genealogy in late 2012. Last year, I launched the upgraded website, a new web portal on Irish genealogy that I hear actually in this room. The launch of the genealogy portal was very much a first step towards the implementation of this national policy. In my first year as minister, I held a seminar with genealogy organisations from all over Ireland and listened to a divergent range of views on policy on Irish genealogy. This has greatly informed my thinking, and many of you may recall that, in the National Library, where Judge McMahon spent a whole day meeting several groups, but it was very, very important, and I must say that it really informed my thinking on genealogy at that time, and also, I suppose, it impressed upon me the whole, I suppose, importance of having a national genealogy policy. Today is another step towards ensuring that the genealogy offering in Ireland is attractive to both people here in Ireland and to all those who have Irish ancestry throughout the world. And as you know, that has been mentioned and estimated maybe at anything up to 70 million people and growing, obviously. Today's unveiling is also a very important step in opening up a very important record source for the people of Ireland. The indexes to the registers of births, marriages and deaths are a valuable state resource. I would like to thank my colleague here, the Minister for Social Protection, Joan Burton, and the Registrar General, Mr. Kieran Feely, most sincerely for the decision to make the indexes available through irishgenealogy.ie. With one click of a mouse, users will have free access to the full range of the indexes that were previously only available to visitors to the public office of the GRO. The ability to work with ease through the data available will make it a very useful tool for those with an interest in genealogy. As I mentioned earlier, last year's launch of the search portal is the first step in an agreed national genealogy policy. This unveiling today is an extremely important next step. As I said at the outset, I see genealogy as an important way of connecting with those abroad who wish to trace their roots and also permitting those here in Ireland to establish their family history. By adding this invaluable record set to the website irishgenealogy.ie, I hope that we will have made the search of Irish ancestry a little easier. The addition of the indexes to the civil records is also a wonderful addition to the offering that was already available on the web portal. The web portal enables visitors to the site to search genealogy records from a number of online sources. Once you input your search on the home page, you are then brought directly to the results of the search. There you can check whether relevant records are available from a large number of online sources such as the church records currently on irishgenealogy.ie, the 1901 and 1911 census records, or the American records of Castle Garden, that was in the Battery, New York, and Ellis Island. Of course, there is plenty of room on the portal for further record sets that will open further paths of information to those seeking to explore their Irish heritage. And I would invite any organisation indeed interested in linking to the web portal to discuss this with officials from my department who are here. And already the Minister has referred to a number of other possible sets. Actually, our conversation just when she arrived here. I hope that people can get great use from the indexes that are now available here online for free. If you have ever any suggestions or indeed complaints, there is a feedback page in which you can do so, and I would advise you to use that. I know that there are some people in the audience that were in touch with me in the past with a range of complaints. I hope that we have measured up to some of those and that we have solved some of those issues for you, but certainly we can see progress and improvement all of the time. And as I said, there are officials here from my department. They're on hand to provide a practical demonstration of the website, so please feel free to engage with them if you have any queries. Finally, I would like to take the opportunity to highlight the work that was carried out on the redevelopment of this website. Firstly, I would like to thank Herb Bynard, Puma IT from County Galway, an Irish-speaking Frenchman, for his work in redeveloping the look and feel of the website. I would like to congratulate him sincerely here this evening. I would also like to thank Maciej Skita from AIS in Poland, who has carried out great work in ensuring that this evening's records are easily accessible through the website. I would also like to pay tribute to the fine work of my officials, in particular the work of the IT unit led by John McKelligot and Ola Kelly, who are both here this evening, and also people like Tygo O'Shea and Orla Gleeson, Kevin Nargan and Chris Flynn, all people that are familiar to many of you, but they're really excellent officials and have done a wonderful job in ensuring that we have made such progress in genealogy in this country. Again, I would like to thank you all for attending here this evening, and I would now gather with Mr. Burton, like to declare the online indexes to the registers of the General Register Office, Civil Records unveiled, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Deanahan, and I must say you've been a great friend to genealogists, historians, and anybody involved in the whole heritage industry. And thank you so much for your work. And now I'm going to hand over to the woman that I think everybody wants to see and hear today. It was very hard for her to get in the door of the academy. There was a whole crowd there stopping her, but I think it's wonderful that she's taken the time on this day particularly to be with us.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Mary Daly, who's one of our most distinguished historians, and I'm very conscious in this place of learning that there are a lot of people here in the audience and people who use this building who would have contributed enormously to this project. I'm very pleased to be here with my colleague, Minister Jimmy Deanahan, and as Jimmy has said, the www.irishgenealogy.ie website, and you see one or two of the pages from it. It will allow online access to the indices, to the registers of the General Register's Office, the Civil Records, and the General Register's Office in Public Service, and probably among historians, probably better known as GROW. And I'm delighted that we're joined particularly by the Registrar, Mr. Kieran Feely, and by a number of the officials in the Department of Social Protection who deal with this area, because they have done a huge amount of work along with the officials from Arts, Heritage and the Gaeltacht. As Jimmy has said, the government approved the implementation of a national genealogy policy. Phase 1 included the development of this website, and it's hosted by the Department of Arts, Heritage and the Gaeltacht. And it has involved, what I suppose the people from the Troika brought us phrases like cross-cutting, but it really has involved a huge amount of cross-cutting cooperation between different agencies and departments of the state. And a lot of civil servants and public servants have worked very hard on this, and I want in particular to congratulate all of them for taking up the project so enthusiastically and bringing it to this point. The GROW office has done a lot of significant work in putting all its manual records into an electronic format. These records, they go back as far as 1845, when the system of civil registration in Ireland was first established, which followed the passing of the Marriages Ireland Act of 1844. And I have to say, politically, we might make an advance on that next year, subject to the will of the people, to extend that marriage equality notion a little further. It has involved the conversion of some 27 million index records. Now this initiative will allow members of the public to search the indices of births, of deaths and of marriages, to search those records online for the first time. This is an investment for the future, which allows us to access our past from the comfort of our living room. And I should also mention that there's a GROW research facility in Dublin where members of the public, they may search the manual indices to the registers and obtain copies of entries in the registers. And when you think of it, whether in Ireland or abroad, Irish people, I think universally, and people of Irish descent, who are you, what's your name, and where are you from? And that's the essence of what's in this treasure trove of Irish history. And it will be both for professional historians, I suppose for people like novelists, but also, as it says on the website, it'll be for families who want to search for their history. And I do think, and I've been delighted as a minister every time proposals have been brought to extend this development, to be in a position to support it and to have Minister Deenahan and the government support it. The availability of electronic records is essential for the development of modern genealogy services. Now, I want to say as well that with further developments in mind, I will shortly be publishing the Civil Registration Amendment Bill of 2014, and included in which will be a provision for certain historic records to be made available online direct to the public. And Mary was just saying there are some fascinating records, for instance, relating to the 1914 18 war, and records in relation to Irish regiments, NCOs, and so on. So it really is a historical treasure trove. In our proposal for the next piece of legislation, we're proposing to more than 100 years old, marriages more than 75 years old, and deaths more than 50 years old. So that will be a significant further extension. So again, I just want to say congratulations to everybody who has been involved in this project. I should also say, in relation to the registrar and to the officials in the Department of Social Protection, the registrar has set out, and the staff have set out, to be particularly helpful to people who are researching records, as has happened recently in Tuam by the historian Ms. Corliss, in relation to mother and baby homes and deaths. They've already made, a couple of weeks ago, the records available in relation to the home, our homes that were at Pelletstown on the Navan Road and just around the Ashtown area. And more of those records will be released as the work is done. And that's, again, a very, very valuable contribution to knowing more about our own history. So again, congratulations to everybody who's involved. And I do hope that on a personal level, a lot of people will get both satisfaction and probably pleasure in a family sense of looking up the records. And I suppose also some of the shocks when you find out different things that perhaps weren't always passed on in family discussions and in family tales. So thank you all very much.
Okay, well, that completes the formalities. There is. You can now actually go and access the database and check out the pilot. So good luck, good searching, and let us know if you find out something really exciting.